Good Thursday morning, August 12th, 2021, 8 o'clock in the morning. Another episode analyzing baseball. I could do a 5,000 episodes on baseball, don't you think? There's so many aspects to the game that you can analyze and look at, especially baseball Hall of Famers. 15,000 ball players have played the sport. Only about 263 are in the Hall of Fame. Boy, that's 0.1%, right? Let's do the math. 15,000 divided by 0.263. 15,000 divided by 263. 0.00005.7. Not even 1% of the players who have played in the big leagues make the Hall of Fame. How about that? I want to do an analysis on numbers tell the truth. What do I mean? Who has the most batting titles? Who has the most home run titles? Who has the most runs batted in titles for this, each individual season? If you win in that category, you win the title for the season, right? Well, there are certain players that have multiple titles in certain categories. I'm going to look at a lot of categories, see what you think. You'll see how this episode goes, okay? First category, batting titles, obviously. Who has the most? Ty Cobb has 12 batting titles. But I want to list these other guys who have multiple ones. Okay? They did it more than once. And I think it's noteworthy. You got to give credit to these guys. Not only to accomplish something once, but to do it over and over and over again. Batting titles, Ty Cobb 12, Tony Gwynn 8, Honus Wagner 8, Rod Carew 7, Stan Musial 7, Roger Hornsby 7, Ted Williams 6, Nap Lajoie 5, Wade Boggs 5, Dan Brothers 5, Roberto Clemente 4, Harry Heilman 4, Camp Anson 4, Larry Walker 3, George Brett 3, Pete Rose 3, Carl Yastrzemski 3, and Jesse Burkett 3. So they did it more than once. How about that? How about home run titles? Babe Ruth leads with 12 home run titles. Then you have Mike Schmidt had 8, Ralph Kiner 7, Harmon Killebrew 6, Mel Ott 6, Jimmy Fox 4, Hank Greenberg 4, Ted Williams 4, Mickey Mantle 4, Reggie Jackson 4, Ken Griffey, Willie Mays, Henry Aaron, Hack Wilson, and Johnny Mays all had 4 also. Lou Gehrig had 3, Willie McCovey 3, and Jim Rice 3. That's home run titles. See how dominant Ty Cobb was in batting titles with 12? And how dominant Babe Ruth was with 12 home run titles. Runs batted in titles. Who has the most? Camp Hansen had 8. Babe Ruth 6. Lou Gehrig 5. Honus Wagner 5. Ty Cobb, Hank Greenberg, Ted Williams, Roger Hornsby, Hank Aaron, Mike Schmidt all had 4. Jimmy Fox, Harmon Killebrew, Ed Delonte, Joe Medwick, Johnny Mize, and Johnny Bench had 3 RBI titles. So who leads the league there? Camp Anson with 8. Runs scored titles, meaning you lead the league in runs scored for the season. Who has the most titles? Babe Ruth, 8. Who figure? Ted Williams 6, and you have Ty Cobb, Rickey Henderson, Roger Hornsby, Mickey Mantle, and Stan Musial with 5. Lou Gehrig, Billy Hamilton 4. Eddie Collins, Carl Yastrzemski, Hank Aaron, Jeff Bagwell, 3 each. How about total bases, titles? Who has the most? Hank Aaron, 8. Roger Hornsby, 7. Ty Cobb, Stan Musial, Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Honus Wagner, 6. Dan Brothers, Lou Gehrig, Chuck Klein, Jim Rice, and Nap Lajoie, 4 each. How about on-base percentage titles, indicating you lead the league for that season and you get the title? Following me? On-base titles, who has the most seasons? Ted Williams, 12. Babe Ruth, 10. Roger Hornsby, 9. Ty Cobb, 7. Wade Boggs, Stan Musial, 6. Lou Gehrig, Dan Brothers, Carl Yastrzemski, and Billy Hamilton, 5 each. Interesting, huh? These guys. Multiple titles. Slugging percentage titles. Leading the league in slugging for the year. Who did it the most seasons? Babe Ruth, 13. Roger Hornsby, Ted Williams, 9. Ty Cobb, 8. Dan Brothers, 7. Stan Musial, 6. Honus Wagner, 6. Ed Delante, Jimmy Fox, Willie Mays, Mike Schmidt, 5 each. Interesting, huh? Most hits in a season. Titles. Who has the most hits in a season? He led the league in hits for the season. Who has the most titles? Ty Cobb, 8. And then Tony Gwynn, Pete Rose, 7. Stan Musial, 6. Nellie Fox, Roger Hornsby, Nap Lajoie, and Kirby Puckett, 4. Most singles in a season title. He got the most single base hits. Led the league for the season. Who has the most titles? Nellie Fox, 8. And Tony Gwynn, 7. Willie Keeler, 7. Ty Cobb, 6. Richie Ashburn, Rod Carew, Billy Hamilton, Jim Rice, Paul Wainer, 4 each. Doubles. Who has the most doubles titles? Most doubles in a season. Who led the league most for the season? Stan Musial, 8. Tris Speaker, 8. Honus Wagner, 7. Ed Delante, Nap Lajoie, Pete Rose, 5. Hank Aaron, Roger Hornsby, 4. Craig Biggio, Lou Boudreau, Dan Brothers, Ty Cobb, George Davis, George Kelly, Joe Medwick, Carl Yastrzemski, 3. 3 times each. Most triples titles. Leading the league in triples. How many times did he do it for a season? Sam Crawford, 6. Stan Musial, 5. Ty Cobb, 4. Early Combs, George Brett. Archie Vaughan, Willie Mays, George Sisler, Goose Goslin. No. Early Combs, George Brett, Archie Vaughan, Willie Mays, 3. And then George Sisler, Goose Goslin, Roger Hornsby, 2 each. Extra base hits titles. Lead the league in extra base hits for the season. How many times did someone lead his league? A title. Extra base hits. Stan Musial, 7 times. Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, 7. Roger Hornsby, 6. Hank Aaron, Dan Brothers, Mike Schmidt, Ted Williams, 5. Ernie Banks, Sam Crawford, Ed Delante, Lou Gehrig, Hank Greenberg, Chuck Klein, Nap Lajoie, and Larry Mize, 4 each. Stolen bases title, leading the league in stolen bases for the season. Who has the most? Rickey Henderson, 10. Max Carey, 10. Nope, Rickey Henderson, 12. My apology. Max Carey 10, Luis Aparicio 9, Lou Brock 8, Ty Cobb 6, Billy Hamilton, Honus Wagner 5, Kiki Kohler, Willie Mays, Tim Raines, Eddie Collins. No, Willie Mays, Tim Raines, and Kiki Kohler 4, and then Eddie Collins 3. Walks, base on balls, titles, leading the league. How many times? Babe Ruth 11. Ted Williams 8, Mel Ott 6, Billy Hamilton, Mickey Mantle 5, Eddie Matthews, Ron Santo, Ricky Henderson 4, Roger Hornsby, Archie Vaughn, Ralph Kiner, Richie Ashburn, Mike Schmidt, Jim Thome, Frank Thomas, Harmon Killebrew, and Lou Gehrig 3. So that's hitting. What do you think? Now in pitching, who had the most wins titles for the season? Most wins in a season, and he leads the league. How many times, and who has the most titles? Warren Spahn led his league in pitching wins 8 times. And Pete Alexander, Bob Feller, Walter Johnson 6, Tom Glavine 5, Joe McKinney, Al Spalding, Cy Young 5, Steve Carlton, Lefty Grove, Christy Mathewson, Hal Newhouser, Robin Roberts 4, John Clarkson, Sandy Koufax, Greg Maddux, Bob Levin 3. Earned run titles. Most led the league in earned run average. Lefty Grove 9. Walter Johnson, Sandy Koufax, Pedro Martinez, Christy Mathewson 5. Pete Alexander, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux 4. Carl Hubble, Tom Seaver 3. These guys they don't just do it once. They've done it multiple times. Most innings pitched titles. Pete Alexander 7. Steve Carlton, Bob Feller, Walter Johnson, Greg Maddux 5. Robin Roberts 5. John Clarkson, Roy Halladay, Bob Lemon, Joe McKinney, Phil Niekro, Jim Palmer, Warren Spahn, and Ed Walsh 4 each. Most strikeouts titles. Walter Johnson 12 times led the league in strikeouts. And you got Nolan Ryan 11, Randy Johnson 9, Bob Feller, Lefty Grove, Danzy Vance 7, Pete Alexander, Rube Waddell 6, Steve Carlton, Christy Mathewson, Amos Russi, and Tom Seaver 5. Most shutouts titles. Walter Johnson, Pete Alexander, Cy Young 7 times each. Greg Maddux 5, Bob Feller, Bob Gibson, Christy Mathewson, Roy Halladay, Amos Russi, Warren Spahn, and Dazzy Vance 4. Most complete game titles. Most complete games in one season, leading the league. How many times? Who leads it? Warren Spahn 9. Roy Halladay 7. Pete Alexander, Walter Johnson 6. Bob Lemon, Robin Roberts, Burleigh Grimes, Ferguson Jenkins, Randy Johnson, Phil Niekro 4. John Clarkson, Cy Young 3. So, leading the league, proud accomplishment. Look at this list. How many times did a hitter, appear in the top 10 of all these categories as far as hitting? Ty Cobb 11 times in the top 10. Roger Hornsby 11, Stan Musial 9, Ted Williams 9, Babe Ruth 8, Lou Gehrig 6, Honus Wagner 6, Mike Schmidt 5, Dan Brothers 5, Hank Aaron 5, Pete Rose 3, Tony Gwynn 3 times, Nap Lajoie 3 times. That's in the hitting category. They were in the top 10. How about in pitching? Who appears in the top 10 in these distinguished categories the most? Walter Johnson, Pete Alexander, 6 times each. Greg Maddux, 4. Christy Masterson, Warren Spahn, Bob Feller, 4 times. Randy Johnson, Bob Lemon, John Clarkson, Cy Young, Robin Roberts, and Lefty Grove, 3 times each. So what do you think of that? So, Ty Cobb wins the batting title 12 times. Babe Ruth won the home run titles 12 times. Runs batted in titles, give it to Cap Hansen 8 times. Runs scored titles, give it to Babe Ruth 8 times. Total bases titles, give it to Hank Aaron 8 times. On base percentage titles, give it to Ted Williams 12 times. Slugging percentage titles, give it to Babe Ruth 13 times. Most hits titles, give it to Ty Cobb 8 times. Most singles titles, give it to Nellie Fox 8. Most doubles titles, it's a tie. Stan Musial, Tris Speaker with 8. Most triples titles, give it to Sam Crawford 6. Extra base hit titles, give it to Stan Musial, Babe Ruth, and Honus Wagner 7 times. Stolen bases titles, Ricky Henderson 12 times. Base on balls, walks titles, give it to Babe Ruth 11 times. So Babe Ruth came out number 1, leading his league in a certain category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Out of 14 categories, Babe Ruth was number 1, leading the league in the category 5 times. Incredible. Ty Cobb, how many times did he, out of the 14 categories, how many times did he lead the category? Well, 1, only 2 times. Hank Aaron, how many times did he lead the category? Just 1 time. So you see, Ted Williams only 1 time, Cap Hansen once, Nellie Fox did it once, Sam Crawford once, Stan Musial has 2 times out of the 14 times, Ricky Henderson once. How about in the pitching category? How many categories are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. Warren Spahn wins the most wins titles. Warren Spahn with 8. Earned run title, Lefty Grove with 9. Most innings pitched titles, Pete Alexander, 7. Most strikeout titles, Walter Johnson with 12. Most shutout titles, Walter Johnson with 7. And most complete game titles, Warren Spahn with 9. So Warren Spahn, out of the 6 categories, he leads in 2 of them. Okay? Pete Alexander, he leads in let's see, Pete wins 1 time. Lefty Grove 1 time. Walter Johnson 2 categories. And Warren Spahn 2 times. Warren Spahn twice, yeah. What do you think? To lead the league in a certain category gives you the title for that category for the season. And these Hall of Fame players stand out. Out of 15,000 players, these guys not only did it once, but did it multiple times. Wouldn't you say that these are the greatest ball players in the history of Major League Baseball? Wouldn't you say that these should be in the top 10? All these guys, the greatest baseball players of all time. They knew what they were doing on the ball field. Thought that was an interesting category. Numbers tell the truth. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. We'll do some more analysis on baseball. We'll see what we can come up with, okay? Thanks for watching.